QUICKTIME report, and don't forget to keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Clara Didge, bringing you news and reviews for QT News. New study says U.S. war has killed 655,000 Iraqis. According to a study published Wednesday in the British medical journal The Lancet, the U.S. invasion and occupation of Iraq are responsible for the deaths of an estimated 655,000 Iraqis. The survey of Iraqi casualties was conducted by a team of Iraqi physicians under the direction of epidemiologists at Johns Hopkins University's Bloomberg School of Public Health in Maryland. The estimate of the researchers is more than 12 times the figure of 44,000 to 49,000 civilian deaths given by the British group Iraq Body Count, and nearly 22 times the figure of 13,000 or less mentioned by President Bush in a December 2005 press conference. The number of estimated deaths of Iraqis since the invasion corresponds to 2.5% of the population of Iraq, a matching percentage of the U.S. population of 300 million to 7.5 million, nearly the entire population of New York City. After calculating the number of post-invasion deaths among the households sampled, the resulting figure was used to estimate the number of deaths for the population as a whole. Based on pre-invasion death rates, the researchers calculated the expected deaths during the same period. The difference between these two figures yielded the excess deaths produced by the invasion and occupation. The 655,000 number is a middle figure. The researchers reported that they were 95% confident that the actual number of deaths was between 393,000 and 943,000. John Howard dismisses Lancet report of 655,000 Iraqi war deaths.
Hi, I'm Mike Snitch, bringing you the news and reviews for QT News. Yet another Islamophobic political show trial in the UK. Question. Full of strange inconsistencies, this sounds like a show trial to me. Is this man mentally fit enough to be tried? Question. Diane Barrett has been accused of all manner of extravagant plots, but they're all on paper. There are no known fellow conspirators. He has no funds to carry out any of the alleged projects, and there is no evidence that any atrocities were being physically prepared. Yet the man pleads guilty in a high-security court, and judgment is to be made in circumstances of even higher security. Is this nothing more than another in a long line of disturbing political trials, where a mentally vulnerable man is being victimized by the British state and its thought police? Question. The details of this trial, some of which I have mentioned, are very disturbing. Barrow's behavior suggests a mentally unstable person. I wonder if his mental state was ever considered before he was sent to trial. Is this man a convert looking to be martyred as a hero? How can anyone be declared guilty of a conspiracy to murder for just writing some stuff on paper and making some videos? It sounds like Barrett was on a Walter Mitty-like fantasy trip. If writing just a few notes about some crazy plans makes one guilty of conspiracy, then Agatha Christie would be one of the world's greatest serial killer terrorists never brought to justice. This is nonsense. Yet he is now under the threat of a life sentence. The British judiciary has deteriorated into nothing more than a corrupt political tool. Both the judiciary and the police are repeating on the mainland all the injustices they committed in Ireland. It is surely the sign of a decayed empire in its death throes.
Hi, I'm Crystal Jones bringing you the news and reviews for QT News. Australia, long-term detainees finally walk free.
Why don't we, 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 take me away.
On Friday, 3 detainees walked free from immigration detention. All came out of psychiatric hospitals after years in detention. The longest was 6 years. According to Pamela Kerr of the Melbourne Asylum Seekers Resource Centre, 6 long hard years of soul-destroying, spirit-breaking detention for no moral reason. 1 permanent protection visa and 2 temporary visas in the Vanstone lottery.
Release me from the cage, free me from the pain, and let me feel no shame. The stars spin circles around the bad times. You splash your water on my fireside. The fortune teller told.
As Refugee Week approaches, the Asylum Seeker Resource Centre are doing an audit of long-termers still in detention to increase the pressure for their release. Even after 6 and 7 years, there are people hidden away in the hellholes of immigration detention, too scared to speak out. The center welcomes information on long-term detainees.
Hello, I'm FX. Don't forget to keep tuning into the QUICKTIME report. Keep it locked.